Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Alpha Point video series where I, the Alpha Russ, look at another topic that kind of gives me a little bit of interest. And for those of you who know me, I really am knowledgeable in a lot of music. I grew up with a lot of different sounds, a little bit of disco, a little bit of rock, a little bit of metal, a little bit of rap here and there. If you honestly look at some of my playlists, you be sitting there going like, how do you keep up with a lot of these older and newer stuff? Honestly, I just go by feeling. Some songs I really like, some I really don't. It's just a few far between thing. And one of the songs that I really liked growing up was Rick Astley's "Never Gonna Give You Up." It's one of my favorite songs because I grew up around it, first as a song, and then it became a part of internet culture of getting rickrolled. I used to remember the videos where it had like the random jump scare, the scare maze. I think that's what the video is called. But you'd be doing this maze, and then all of a sudden you would get like the screaming woman just but now, but there will be a parody of it where it was you're doing the maze, but instead of the scary woman, you're getting basically the getting rickrolled. So I was pleasantly surprised when a rapper named Young Gravy was actually using the music backing of Rick Astley. I was like, oh, okay, did Rick Astley actually give him the rights to use the actual like music arrangement and everything like that? Terms to find out, the people who worked with Rick Astley at the time, the production company actually owns the usage of that arrangement in particular. So they got the go ahead from that record label. And so when I read this article a couple days ago, I was actually kind of shocked. So Rick Astley is suing Young Gravy over allegations that the "Never Gonna Give You Up" imitation sounds almost as accurately as Rick Astley. This is an article written on BBC by Stephen McIntosh. I'll be having the links down in the description below, but this is what is said. Rick Astley is suing rapper Young Gravy for using an alleged impersonation of his voice on a recent single. The singer's 1987 worldwide "Never Gonna Give You Up" song is interpoled in Young Gravy's song "Betty Get Money." If you haven't heard that song yet, please do. It's a banger. It's definitely worth listening to a lot. So it's a good workout song too. The song features an imitation of Ashley's vocals, which if you're gonna do the song, do it with the original. That's what I always say. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, if schedules weren't aligned, then by all means, parody someone who parrots just like the singer is a fair trade. It's a fair trade. So according to this, the lawsuit claims that Astley's distinctive voice is a resource that needs to be carefully managed. Young Gravy has not yet commented. The rapper and his team allegedly cleared the use of the underlying music composition of "Never Gonna Give You Up," which was written by Stock Atten Waterman. This allowed them to recreate music and lyrics for the original song for their own track, a process known as interpolating. One of the biggest examples of that for me, as far as I can remember, is there's a song on the Eminem show, and I had to remember what it is, but It's basically, I think it's called Dream On too, but it's basically his version of Dream On with the same like vocalizations as in the original Dream On song, is with the same guitar work and everything, just compositioned a little bit differently to obviously go into rap. Now, I think that's fair enough. I think that's always going to be fair. And obviously, in that case, obviously they use the vocals, the vocalization of Dream On in that Eminem song a little bit differently. You know, obviously you got to match the tempo and pitch with certain people, and all that good stuff. I had to stop my recording. There was someone at my door. Where was I? I think I was at using the example of Dream On by Eminem and Aerosmith. Like with both songs, obviously you got to match pitch with pitch and composition with composition. Like it has to be a slower tempo because that's what the song is designed to be. Blah blah blah. It's all that stuff goes into it. So now when you look at this and see that Rick Astley is suing the rapper for not the interpretation of the music, so to speak, or the composition, but his the voice. So as we read on here, it says this allowed him to recreate music and lyrics for the original songs. However, Astley's lawyers say a license to use the original underlying musical composition does not authorize the stealing of the artist's voice in the original recording. So I would assume that Astley's lawyers like, look, I think you're using someone that who is close enough in pitch and going into the recordings and editing it to sound almost as pitch perfect as Rick Astley, which a lot of people can argue that and sit there and go, well, okay, that actually does make sense. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that, obviously. But according to Rick Astley's lawyers, the alleged impersonation is violating his right to publicity by mimicking the distinguished voice he used in the song. The legal papers claim Young Gravy and his producers, including Dylan Francis, conspired to include a deliberate and nearly indistinguishable imitation of Mr. Astley's voice through the song. This was done, the lawsuit alleges, in an effort to capitalize off the immense popularity and goodwill of Mr. Astley. I think I could safe to say I don't think they intentionally stole Rick Astley's voice. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they intentionally did that with someone who sounds almost exactly like Rick Astley. Aston is also suing Nick Steely, known as Pop Nick, the alleged vocal impersonator. Now, I haven't heard Nick Steely's Rick Astley very closely. I listened to both songs. There is some closeness to the vocalizations, and I could say, like, you know, hey, this could be interpreted as someone really sounding just like Rick Astley, and that could be just like pure coincidence and all that jazz, you know. But the fact that you got Rick Astley thinking, or his lawyers, or honestly, I think this is just a way of just to like shit on the younger generation's music. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't like a lot of the modern day rap and all that, but you know, like your Post Malone's, Young Gravy. Actually, Young Gravy is very good. Yellow Wolf is another one. Um, I think there could be a case where, you know, that this was a big blown out of proportion connection to this, and Rick Astley just misheard. Like I've heard people who go to like karaoke, right? And there's people that who do let's say for example, there's someone that who is going to karaoke that who can mock, or in this case impersonate, Elvis Presley singing Hound Dog with every cadence and everything. And you could sit there and go like, wow, you almost sound like the man himself. Well, obviously he's not the man himself, but he's doing a parody of it with his own voice. And this only just makes me sit there and go, well, if this actually goes through and Astley does win this case, honestly, I don't see this case favoring Rick Astley in any way, shape, or form, because I hear the same cadence and everything from both sides of the songs, but there's more raspiness in the Young Gravy version of Never Gonna Give You Up, because basically it's the repeating of the chorus, never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you. That chorus, that part of the chorus, like and it does sound almost like, I would say, if I had to put a percentage of it, like just listening to it on repeat over and over again between those both parts, I would say there is some similar cadence of the song, but there really is no need for it to be in the courts. Like, this should be a conversation that could be had like face to face, like sit there, go like, hey, we want to talk. I want to talk to you. Hey, where did you find this guy? This guy almost sounds exactly like me. If you want, we could actually do this song, re-record this song to actually use my actual voice, you know. The lawyers his representatives in the UK confirmed to the BBC that they filed a lawsuit, which was last Thursday, in the US court of law by a firm representing Rick. The lawmakers added that Astley is extremely protective over his name, image, and likeness, meaning the unauthorized use of similar sounding voice has caused him immense damage. Bro, do you seriously have
emotional damage?
Seriously, do you really have emotional damage with this man? Like, I'm sorry, but this isn't immense damage. You're just being emotional because someone sounds almost like you on a popular song, and you think that's going to do immaculate damage. It's not. It's just it's parroting your lyrics. Now, I'm not going to sit there and go, well, you wrote the song, so you have songwriter's rights. You could tell them like, hey, don't use my lyrics. They probably would have figured something that would sound exactly like the song, but in a more parodied way. and they would still parody your voice. Let's see here. The legal document also claimed Astley has been looking for a way to incorporate his voice in a future project in collaboration with another artist, a project that he says is now ruined. He has not confirmed how much money he is suing for. However, Deadline has described it as a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. This is a sneeze compared to Rick Astley, compared to Young Gravy, who's like 26 years old. Like, he's just starting his career, like really starting his career now. And so back in August, he even admitted to this in a interview with Billboard last August. He basically just sits there and goes, well, we did remake the song and had a different singer, different instruments. It's very close, but very close enough to where it's still legally able. Like, I know some people talk about, like, with DMCA rules or copyright rules for like music. Some people sit there and go like, well, you can't use my music, but if it's used in a remix, it's basically, as far as I've seen, it's fair game. It's fair game. Honestly, in my opinion, this is a very significant impact in not only my life, really, because this is we're talking about someone who's been a part of the internet culture and also the musical culture for as long as I've lived, far beyond way before I lived. The song has been covered on many occasions over the years by acts including rock group Smash Mouth, Barry Manilow, British boy band 911. The track has been interpooled several times. Danish dance artist Calvin attracted more than 23 million Spotify streams to his 2016 re-imaging of the song title Never Gonna Give You Up. Betty Get Money is Young Gravy's most successful track to date, reaching gold status in the US, equating to 500,000 sales. Accompanying its video last June. So what are my thoughts on this? Honestly, I can't fault Rick Astley for being so protective of his image and up till his voice. But with this current US interpretation of like interpooling and copyright voice, I think, as far as I'm aware of, there hasn't been a case like this where someone is hiring an impersonator for a song that they legally got the okay to use the arrangement, and I think I would assume also the record label that owns the arrangement also has the rights to the lyrics. So I don't know. I think honestly this is gonna be a pretty quick open shut case. I think Young Gravy is not gonna suffer a lot in terms of money loss. He could sit there and go like, well, yeah, it's close, but you know, we're the producers of the song for the song basically said this is as close as we can legally get. I think, in my opinion, that this is not an imitation of your song, but it is a simple remixed version of your song, but under a different name, and you're just jealous of the popularity they had skin. I don't think honestly this song really hurts Rick Astley very much. I think I think on the quite contrary, I think this makes listening to Rick Astley more of a popular thing, because like he's been going through what, it's been the 80s. So let's see, we got the 90s, 2000s, 2010, 2020. You know, you have the internet culture still using your meme, the Rick rolling meme, which will be still used forever and ever and ever and ever. Like honestly, um, I think honestly this is gonna basically be dismissed as soon as it goes into court. I think the judge has. I hope the judge has common sense, especially if it's filed in the state of California. I know most of the lawsuits that I've seen over the years, where people are stealing song arrangements and using lyrics, basically just stealing the whole form of the song and trying to make it their own. But uh but at the same time not make it their own, basically making up for some laziness on some sides. I think the song, like personally speaking, I like Young Gravy's song. That's probably the only Young Gravy song that I really like. I mean, if he comes up with another like disco-y hip hop rap type of song, I probably would absolutely listen to it. Again, like, you know, they thought they killed disco in the 80s, but you know, or in the 70s, but they didn't really. It's been coming back. So but I want to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comment section below. I'll have the link to the story down below as well. And thank you so much for watching. As always, peace, love, chick grease, everything. It's Holy Tim Tebow.